Hey everyone, I'm your average cat Sahil Gogna. Welcome back to another video. So guys, in today's video, we are going to talk about the steps that you need to follow in order to get started with your dream of studying in Canada. Not only that, we are also going to talk about the mistakes that you need to avoid at each step. But before starting with this video, I have an announcement to make. A couple of days back, I uploaded a video with a blockchain expert about getting started with your blockchain development journey. So he's also a Udemy instructor, and right now you can get one of his courses for free. This offer is limited for only first 1000 students, and if you are interested, I will leave all the details in the description, or you can also find it in the pinned comment below. So without any further delay, let's get started. So guys, I'm going to share 8 steps that you need to follow if you want to come to Canada as a student. So I will not only share the steps which will give you an idea of the process, but also I'm going to share some of the mistakes that you should not repeat or that you should not commit while doing these steps. Starting off, the first one is make your mind and define your reasons. Now this step is not directly required by the Canadian government, but this one is very crucial for you. The reason is that a lot of students, they have very unrealistic expectations from the life of Canada, and it's mainly due to the videos whatever they watch it on social media. Those types of videos, they show just one side of the life, but the other side of life is full of hard work, full of struggles, and you need a different perspective to look into the life. So if you want to come to Canada, make up your mind that you need to work hard a lot, and it's not only about expensive cars or the lifestyle that you see in the videos. There are a lot of other things that you need to consider before making a decision. One such unrealistic expectation when it comes to a job market in Canada that most of the students have is that it's very easy to land a job at the top tech companies like Google, Apple, Facebook, or in short what we call them the FANG companies. But the reality is that it's equally hard to get a job at these top tech companies as it would have been in India. So if your only aim is to work at these top tech companies, that you might need to think again, because it might not be worth spending 20 or 25 lakhs just to get an interview call from these companies. You need equal amount of skills, equal amount of dedication to land a job. The process might be somewhat different, but considering the skill level or difficulty level, it's almost the same. So if you want to know more about the process of these companies, or if you are interested in knowing what are the types of questions or what's exactly the level of difficulty here in Canada for these top tech companies, I'm coming up with a webinar. So if you want more details about that, follow me on Instagram, because I will be announcing about this webinar very soon on my Instagram. The second step is to research about the program or the university or college that you want to go. So now till this point, if you have done a thorough research, or if you spend a lot of time on point number 1, which is defining your reasons, it will be very easy for you guys to think whether you want to go to college or to university. I know whenever we are deciding to come to Canada, this is one of the major questions, and I have tried my best to answer this question in 2 of different videos. So if you have not watched those videos, I will leave the link in the description that you can watch, and you can decide whether you want to go to Canada or not. And also, if you will think about point number 1, it will definitely help you to set your aims. But I will tell you guys in short, if you want to come to Canada after your 12th grade or after your high school, then you should definitely consider the provinces which has very lenient provincial nominee program rules, so that you can easily get your permanent residency. But if you're coming to Canada after your bachelor's degree, or if you're coming for your master's program or for postgrad diploma, then I think you should consider a good educational institute over choosing a province. The one major confusion that students generally have while choosing a college or university is whether they can change their province after graduating from the university or not. And the answer is yes. So it doesn't matter which province you choose for your education, you can work anywhere in Canada. So don't let this thought affect your decision of choosing a college or a university. So guys, the next step, which is the third step, it's about giving all the required exams. So once you have decided which college or which university you want to apply for, the next comes the step to look into the admission criteria or the admission process of that particular educational institute. So all the educational institutes here in Canada require you to appear for the English language proficiency test, and the most famous ones are the TOEFL or IELTS, and you can give any of them depending upon the program that you are choosing. And again, depending upon the type of program that you're applying for, you might need to give the GRE or GMAT exam. So guys, I know it's very tough to score good marks in these exams, But there are a lot of Canadian universities, the good ones, that do not require you to give this exam. So give a thorough research or do a thorough research while looking for a university. But here's a pro tip. In case your marks or your CGPA it's not up to the mark according to your university standards, you can always give these types of exams to strengthen your profile. So when you're applying for a university, it's not only about your CGPA or about your IELTS exam. It's about the strength of your overall profile, which is evaluated or which is compared to other candidates. So I have seen a lot of students with low CGPA, but they leverage their GMAT or GRE scores to make it into the top Canadian universities. So guys, moving on to the next step, which is step number 4, it's about preparing the SOP and a resume. So this step might not be required for the college students, but it's a very crucial step for the university students. So basically there are two types of SOPs. One is the academic SOP, the other one is visa SOP. And we will talk a little bit about visa SOP in the later steps, but let's talk about the academic SOP. So basically in this type of SOP, you need to tell the university why you are a good fit for this particular program, why that university should select you, and how this program aligns with your future goal. In case you want to write this SOP, I have already made a detailed video on my channel and you can go and check out that. And in case if you require any help in writing an SOP, you can email to me and I will try to connect you with the right mentors so that you can write an effective SOP and get selected at your dream university. So the next step is the step number 5, which is getting the letter of recommendations. So as a college student, you need not to perform this step, but for university students, it's a very important step again. And generally the university will tell you how many letter of recommendations they require. But in case it's not mentioned, you can always go for 2 academic SOPs and 1 professional SOP. And from academic SOP, I mean that you have to reach out to the professors of your previous college and get a recommendation from them. And from professional SOP, you have to reach out to your previous teammates, or it's better if you reach out to your manager under whom you have worked and he or she can write you a recommendation. So the general process is that whenever you will get a letter of recommendation from anyone, you will submit this to the university and they will follow up with a link to the person that you have got recommendation from, and they have to fill out all the details on that link. Once you have got the letter of recommendation, please make sure to tell your professor or your manager that they might receive a link from the university where they have to fill out all the details. The process doesn't end just by getting a letter of recommendation. They have to perform a few more steps. So just keep this in mind. So guys, the next step is to apply for an offer letter. So if you're a college student, you might have skipped a lot of steps that I have just mentioned. And the reason is that the college, it needs a very less documentation, but a university, it will require a lot of additional documentation. So guys, this is a step where I would recommend you guys to hire a good consultant. And the good consultant, generally they won't charge you for their service. And the reason is that they get a cut from the college or university that you're applying for. But you need to be very careful while you are hiring a consultant, because these days a lot of students are getting fooled by these consultants. So I can give you 2 mistakes that students generally make while going to consultant. The first one is that they do not do a thorough research about the programs that they are eligible for. Let's say you are applying for a university, and whenever you will go to a consultant, they will recommend you some particular set of universities, and they will say that you are just eligible for these colleges or these universities. But in reality, you might be eligible for some other good universities or other good colleges, but they might not have the tie-ups with those educational institutes, so they won't get their cut, right? So it's upon you to do a good research. I have already made a lot of playlists and I have tried to divide the universities according to provinces so that you can go through all of those universities and you can get to know like what were the profiles of the students that got admitted to those particular universities or particular colleges, so that you can compare your profile with those students and you can get to know whether you are eligible for their university or not. By this way, you won't be fooled by the educational consultants. And the second example that I can give you is that most of the students, they rely on their consultants to write a good SOP, and generally the consultants, they have a particular template that they follow for all the students. So your SOP should be unique. It should reflect your personality, and I would advise you guys to write your SOP by yourself and then get it reviewed from an expert. Don't just rely on your consultant for these steps. So the next step is step number 7, and it's for the students who are applying to Quebec colleges or universities. You need to apply for an additional document which is called CAQ, which basically means that once you are approved by a college or university in Quebec, you will need to get approval of the province that they are allowing you to come to their province and study in that particular college. So this is one extra step for students who are planning to come to Quebec. You have to keep just one thing in mind, that this process can take up to 3 months to get this CAQ approved, and you have to plan your timelines accordingly. Coming on to the last step, which is step number 8, it's about giving your medical exam, depositing your GIC and applying for your visa. So here I would like to highlight two major mistakes that the students make. The first one is related to a GIC bank account. So it's always advisable to open this account with the Canadian banks. So what students generally do is that they open up account with the Indian bank, and once they come here, it's very difficult for them to find a particular branch in their nearby areas. And especially if you are going to the provinces like Nova Scotia or Prince Edward Island, you might need to travel a lot of distance, or you might need to go very far from your city just to get that account activated. So this is the reason I would advise you guys to open up your GIC accounts only in the Canadian banks. And the second major mistake that students make is not properly writing their visa SOP. So once they're accepted by the university, they take their visa SOP very lightly, or they just rely on their consultants, which again give you some copied SOP for your visa officer. And this is the major reason that recently you might have heard that more than 50% of visas were being rejected by the Canadian government. Their visa SOP wasn't very good, or it wasn't up to the standards. So it's always advisable, write your SOP yourself and get it reviewed from some professionals. So guys, this was today's video. I hope you have really liked the video and learned a lot from this video. And I'm pretty sure that this will give you a good overview of the process of coming to Canada. And in case I missed any of the step, please don't forget to mention them in the comment section below. Please subscribe to the channel and share your thoughts in the comment section. And I will see you guys in the next video. Till then, stay safe.